guys, in this video I will show you guys how to simplify a rational expression. So let's work on this problem right here. We have 5x squared minus 14x minus 3 everything over x squared minus 9 divided by 5x squared plus 6x plus 1 over 2x squared plus x minus 1. Okay, so first of all, I will try to rearrange it because this is division between fractions. So I will rewrite it as, so the second step, I have 5x squared minus 14x minus 3 over x squared minus 9 multiply by 2x squared plus x minus 1 over 5x squared plus 6x plus 1. So we multiply reciprocal of the second fraction. And now we will consider whether we can factor all the expressions right here. So for 5x squared minus 14x minus 3, so on the side I will show you guys how to factor it. There's many ways for you to factor if it's factorable. However, the way I use it is, a lot of you use guess and check, but I will use my way here, and if it worked for you, maybe you can use it too. So first I try with 5x squared minus 14x minus 3, and I will take negative 3 times 5, okay, the last or the constant multiplied by the leading coefficient. So negative 3 times 5 is give me the top number, which is negative 15. And then now I have negative 14 go to the bottom, so negative 14. So basically I'm trying to figure it out, the two numbers that multiply to get negative 15 and add up to get negative 14. So I have negative 15 here, and basically the strategy is I try to find all the factors of negative 15. So I may have negative 1 and 15, or negative 15 and 1, or negative 3 and 5, or negative 5 and 3. And now I will try to see which pair, when I add them up, it gives me negative 14. This will be the one. So negative 15 plus 1 is give me negative 14. So I have the two number right here, which is negative 15 and 1. Okay, so how does these number help me factor this expression out? So basically, it's give me the idea that negative 14x right here, I can rewrite it as negative 15x plus 1x. You see that we just got negative 15 and 1 here will help you understand that you just try to change the form of negative 14x becomes negative 15x plus 1x, and is still equivalent to negative 14x. And then for 5x squared and negative 3, you just bring it down. So 5x squared, we didn't change anything, and then minus 3. And then now you have 4 terms. That means you can use grouping method to factor this expression out. So then now I will group 5x squared and negative 15x, and when I group them together, it gives me 5x in common, and I factor it out, so inside I have x minus 3 left. Alright, and then for the second one, I'll group 1x and negative 3, and what in common is 1. So I will have plus 1 outside, and then inside I still have x minus 3. So now I know I can use this distributive property to factor it. So now x minus 3, they're both the same, so I just rewrite them as ones. So x minus 3, And then 5x plus 1, I put them together in another parenthesis. So I have 5x plus 1. That's how I factor the expression when the leading coefficient is not 1. Okay? So go back here, I'll replace 5x squared minus 14x minus 3 with x minus 3 and 5x plus 1. Alright, and then over, and for x squared minus 9, if you use the difference of square, you can see right away it will be x plus 3 times x minus 3. Okay, and now move on. I'll do the same thing, use the same strategy for 2x to factor 2x squared plus x minus 1 if it's factorable. Okay, so draw a line here and you can try it. You can pause the video here and try to figure it out before you look at my solution. So I have 2x squared plus x minus 1. I take negative 1 times 2. So then on top I will have negative 2. And there's no number right here. It's actually 1. So then that means I have 1 for the bottom. And now I will look for the two numbers that when I multiply I get negative 2, and when I add them up I get 1. So again, use the same technique. I will try to look for factor of negative 2. So for negative 2 I can have factor as negative 1 times 2 or negative 2 times 1. And now I'm looking for a pair. When I add them up it's giving me 1, which is this one right here. So then I have 2 and negative 1. So I'm doing the same thing. That means 1x equivalent to 2x minus 1x. And I bring down everything else. So 2x squared plus and minus 1. Okay, I have 4 terms in the expression now instead of 3 terms. So I can use a grouping method. So first one, I group the first and second term. They both have 2x in common. So I put 2x outside. And then I have x plus 1 inside. Okay, third and fourth term, I have negative 1 in common. And what left inside will be x plus 1. And since I have 2x plus 1, I put them together using distribute property. So x plus 1, and then the other parenthesis will be 2x minus 1. Okay, now I go back here. So 2x squared plus 1 minus 1 equivalent to x plus 1 and 2x minus 1. And everything over. Okay, we do the same thing. Okay, so for the third one, I don't need to explain it in detail anymore. So I just work on it. And hopefully you guys understand the strategy at this step. So plus 6x plus 1. I take 1 times 5. I have 5 on top. And then 6 will go to the bottom. I look for the two numbers, multiply, get 5, and add up to get 6. So factor of 5 is only 1, which is 1 and 5. So I have 5 and 1 here. So 6x break into 5x plus 1x. And then rewrite everything else. So I have 5x squared plus 5x. And then plus 1 here. Grouping method again, first and second. So I have 5x. And then x plus 1. For the third and fourth term, I have 1 in common and then x plus 1. So that will give me 5x plus 1 in one parenthesis, and the other parenthesis will be x plus 1. Okay, so I have 5x plus 1 and then x plus 1. And since it's multiplication, the operation between all these parentheses are multiplication. So therefore, it's allow us to cross off. So we can cross off x minus 3 and x minus 3. We can cancel them out. And then 5x plus 1, cancel 5x plus 1. We can cancel x plus 1 and x plus 1. So what left over is 2x minus 1 over x plus 3. Okay, however, we're not done yet because we need to state the restrictions. And when you state the restrictions for this expression, you have to go back to the beginning, which is the original problem. So then for this original problem, we need to look for, because they both fractions, therefore we need to look for what value when you plug it in, it will make the fractions, the denominator of the fraction become 0. That means you cannot have those values, because when you have those values, your fractions will become undefined. Okay? So let's take a look at right here, x squared minus 9. So x squared minus 9, we want to find out what numbers will make it become 0. So then I have set up x squared minus 9 equals 0. And then x squared equals 9. Take the square root on both sides. So x equals plus or minus 3. So that's the first one. So x cannot be plus or minus 3. Okay. And then the second part we have right here is this. And then we can solve it. So then I will label it with different colors so then you guys can follow it easier. So then the second one we have is 2x squared plus x minus 1 equals 0. And we know that one, when we factor it, it will give you x plus 1 times 2x minus 1 equals 0. And now we have x plus 1 equals 0, or 2x minus 1 equals 0. And then x equals negative 1 and x equals 1/2. So that's another number we cannot have for this expression. Okay. However, this is a little bit tricky because this division. Therefore, when you flip it, you also have another part play at the denominator, which is this one right here. So then I also set up 5x squared plus 6x plus 1 equals 0. And we already factor it out. So we have 5x plus 1 and x plus 1 equals 0. So then we have x equals negative 1/5, x equals negative 1. And we already have negative 1 for previous problems. So then right now we only have negative 1/5. Okay. So that's the answer for this problem. Hopefully it helped you guys understand about how to simplify rational expression now.